Morning again. Hopefully, maybe joining later. Venkat, could you go through the previous video? Actually, it was shared yesterday.
Actually, I came yesterday evening. I wasn't able to see actually.
Fine.
And further, the video which I received was a little late as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'll be continuing from that. I just wanted to give a little bit of
Okay.
a recap about the
Uh-huh.
previous topic and continue. So, for that purpose, I just asked you. Nikhil, in the last session, hope you remember that. See, connecting back to P2P cycle. Now we have seen how a purchase requisition can be raised and with reference to source list or without that, how to create a PR. Once PR is generated, it will be sent to the purchasing department. Now purchasing department, what they need to do is if at all they don't have a vendor for that particular material, they'll be calling for RFQs, that is request for quotations. So in the last session, we have seen how RFQs are created for one material. We are going to send this request for quotation to multiple vendors. To that extent, it was covered. I'll just show you the RFQs what we created in the last session. From there on, we'll continue. See, for me to take a list of all RFQs that I have created, the way we use MKVZ MM60 in order to get the list of all materials and vendors. Similarly, for RFQs also, we have these T codes from which I can get to know what are the RFQs that were created. And by collective number I have, or by material, or by vendor, or even by RFQ number, I can get a list. Now I'll go with this collective number. What was the collective number that was given, Nikhil? You remember? Is it 110? Some collective number was given. Do you remember, Nikhil? Well, there's a list of RFQs. As you can see, 141, 142, 143. Material, for same material, it is sent to different vendors. Now, what is the material? Who are the vendors? From this, I can get to know. You can see this 9999 followed by few zeros is PTPL vendor 1, vendor 2, and vendor 3. These three vendors. And this is the material 7007 followed by 00370. This is the material. For this material, I have sent requests for these vendors, vendor 1, 2, and 3. These are the vendor names and vendor numbers, and these are RFQ numbers. Just to give you a small idea about how to create the RFQ, how it looks. See, this is what the RFQ screen is. I can take multiple materials also. It is not only for one material. You can have more than one. I have to mention the vendor to whom it is supposed to go. I have to simply click on this vendor address, add a vendor. So it automatically generates a document, RFQ document, and collective number here I have maintained it as 1. As you can see here, collective RFQ1, collective RFQ1, and collective RFQ1. Purpose is with that one number, I can compare the prices which are quoted by all three vendors, so the price that the vendors quote, I can have it on a single screen, and thereby system will give the rank for each vendor. What is the rank of each vendor? System will be giving that. And as you can see here, actually while creating RFQs, you should maintain it with same material quantity and unit, we have to mention it when we are sending it to the vendor. And it's good that if we have it in the same unit, so that while comparing it'll be easier. So what I'll do is, as you can see, it is 2500 kg here and 100 pieces here. So this is the RFQ number. So deliberately we have done one. We shall try editing this. Hope you are understanding. Here see, it is 100 pieces. The other one is also 100 pieces, but this is different. So let us try editing it and then proceed. RFQ with vendor 3. RFQ with vendor 3. So 142 is the number. I will show that how to make the changes in RFQ that we have created. So ME42, 142 is the number. This I will change, make it 100. So you can see RFQ so and so is changed. We'll see the reflection of this. Getting back now, I'll directly go to maintain RFQ, quotation maintain ME47. Make a note. So this is to create change and also display changes further to get the list of RFQs. To this extent we have seen. Now further is maintain RFQ, meaning to say, now the vendors have given their quotations. We need to maintain those RFQs. Vendors have sent the quotations. They have quoted their price. We need to maintain them. ME47. Make a note. Written.
Yes.
Proceed ME47. So all three we shall maintain 41, 42, 43. Server is running a bit slow. So for this material, raw material 1, let us assume that this particular vendor, PTPL vendor 1, he is quoting rupees 100 per piece. This is the understanding. I'll save it. So it is maintained. I'll go to 2, the next RFQ 142. As you can see here, this was meant to be deleted. It is showing that as I tried to delete this, because of which it is showing the same indicator here. It is not allowing me to proceed, as you can observe here, because I mentioned it to get deleted. See, if I want to delete this item, I can click on that and have it, so that it will not allow me to quote. This is how you can, if you don't want that particular quotation or that particular code for that vendor, then you can subject it to deletion as well, or else getting back to vendor change, sorry, RFQ change. If I want to continue, say I'll take this 700700370. Hundred. Here I'll take it as pieces. Enter. I think it is taking from the source list. Already we have mentioned it. So RFQ 142 is changed. Now you observe how system reacts when we are going to maintain that. Coming back to maintain RFQ 142. Per kg it is, and here it is for per piece. Now just observe how system will provide the data for these things. So I'll take, instead of 100, I'll put it as 120 kgs. Sorry, 120 rupees. So earlier I had it as 100, this 120. RFQ2 maintained. Then coming to RFQ3. This no problem because 100 and it is in pieces. Now I'll take it as 90. So three different vendors, three different quotes. I'm just entering the price and saving it. RFQ 1, 2, and 3. Now I need to make this price comparison. ME49. Make a note. Price comparison. Written. Price comparison. So I'll proceed. Here I'll give only collective number. Collective number is 1 and execute. Collective number 1. Make a note. Collective number 1 and execute this. It will take all three RFQs. I need to relog in. The time is gone. Hope you are able to see the screen. Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, it's running slow. The server, there is some issue probably. PTPO. So I'll execute this for price comparison. Sorry, here I should give collective RFQ number one. See, here also we can mention from so and so quotation number to so and so quotation number, or based on vendor and material. However, if we have maintained collective RFQ number, that one number is sufficient. It will take all the RFQs for which we have maintained same collective number. So that's the purpose of defining collective number. I'll go with collective number. Now, what is that you can understand from the system? Look at the system, observe properly, and tell me what is that you can understand. We have material, we have vendor, and we have RFQ numbers, we have the price, we have price comparison, and system has ranked these vendors according to their price. Can you observe and tell me? Fine, you can see here this is the material 7,700,370. This is the material, and the quantity which was maintained 100 pieces. So these are the quotation numbers 141, 142, and 143. And this is the price that we have defined. One is 90, other is 100. With unit change, it becomes so much for vendor 3. And system says this vendor is ranked 1 just based on price, the other one ranked 2, and the other vendor ranked 3. So the price what you are seeing here is per piece, and this is the variation in their percentage price. Well, if I have to edit, let us assume that I want to edit this price, and wrongly if it is code entered, if I have to edit it, say I can just double click on this RFQ. I can double click on that. It will take me to the display screen. As you can observe here, I can come back to this particular screen. This is quoted per kg. What has happened, I can see in the display screen. I get back. Now see, observe this maintain quotation. I can click on this. This is to edit, to maintain that particular quotation. Same. So RFQ quantity and the price. I can get to know what is the price that is quoted. This is how I can get back to RFQ. If I want to get back to vendor, let us assume, I can just double click on this particular vendor number. That vendor is bidder. In fact, see, observe. If I just click on this vendor, it will take me to the vendor screen. Who is the vendor, address, details. I'll get that. And if I want to see about the material, same thing. I click on material, select the material, click on this. I get to know about the material from here. This is about material, vendor, and as well as the RFQ. So let me just attempt this. So RFQ quantity for this particular vendor to whom we have sent is 100, and they have quoted this price per unit. So in this way I can get back to the documents from this particular table what we are observing. It will compare and tell who is best, and system can compare only based on the price. Hope you understood this part.
Yeah.
See, here I have maintained it as from purchase info record. We have made the unit change, due to which it is showing the unit difference from kgs to pieces. Now you just take this. I have made the change 100 there, and I'll just refresh the screen. You can see that it is showing all together in a different table because it cannot compare as there is change in the unit. Getting?
Yeah.
Now if I get back to this and make it 2.5, sorry, 25. And save this, again refresh. You can see it is showing for one piece, here it is for 100 pieces difference. Getting?
Yeah.
If I make it 2500, save here, again refresh the screen, it will come back to same.
Okay.
Because I have to maintain the same unit, then only it can show, it can compare in the same line, or else what happens, it will show it in a different line because units are different, the way it is maintained is different, it cannot put it together. Hope you understood this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is about RFQ, its comparison, maintaining RFQ, changes, etc. Well, now RFQ is done. Get back to P2P cycle. I want you to simply make a note of that flow chart which I had given to you in the slideshow, so that you can keep connecting it, connecting these topics to the cycle, and we can follow the steps one after the other. So from P2P cycle, we have seen user department has raised PR. It has been sent to purchase department, and they have raised RFQs. RFQs are sent to vendors have given back their quotation, and based on that, those quotations, you have maintained RFQs, and finally let us assume that vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3, among these 3 vendors some vendor is selected. Let us assume that we have come to that step. After that is to raise PO, send purchase order to that particular vendor. Now how to create purchase order? Can we create purchase order without RFQ, or with just with PR if we already know the source list, or without referring to this can we create PO? What are the different ways to create PO? That's something what we are going to observe, and we will try understanding that. Now the next topic you can write down as purchase order, PO, purchase order. So write down the parts: Apeno logistics, materials management, purchasing, purchase order, create. So we have ME21, 22, ME21N, ME22N, ME23N. Releasing POs will come to that bit later. And you can write down this by PO number ME2N to get the list of all POs that you have created, ME2N. Write down these many, ME21, 21N, both are there. ME21 is also there, 21N is also there. Write down both. I'll tell the difference between 21 and 21N. even though they both are only to create, still we have some difference in the screens. What is 21? What is 21N? We'll see. ME21, ME21N, 22N, 23N, and ME2N. You can, for time being, write down this.
So actually, what is ME21?
ME21 is also to create purchase order. To create purchase order. There are little bit advancements in the screens. The version what you are seeing is bit advanced than. Venkat has that experience. In fact, he has got it installed on his system, which looks a bit different than the screen what you are seeing. Venkat?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ramchandra,
Yes.
regarding this one, whatever you were saying, I just want to install a software and even get the server details from Vinod, but unfortunately, I'm not able to use that one how to because I don't know how to use that one. For this, I'm asking, is it which there are? Yesterday, I contacted one of the guy from Incel. He said he will install CC something version. Is it good or S4 HANA is good? Which
No.
one we are?
Hey, don't go to HANA. HANA itself. HANA is different.
Okay.
HANA is a cloud-based server, and ECC is mounted on HANA. HANA works only with HANA operating system. That is different. It is even more advanced than ECC. So we are not into HANA training now. There you get altogether different screens. So don't go to HANA. It is ECC itself. You need to ask for that. I'll just connect with you. I'll tell you a bit later when you connect. Maybe in the afternoon or so. I'll just give a call. Hope you have written these things. Shall I proceed?
Yes.
Now I'll take only ME21. ME21. See, from the system, in the screen, it is quite evident that create purchase order, a reference to PR, a reference to contract, reference to RFQ. You can create it with reference to purchase requisition. PR is purchase requisition. These two we have covered, contracted to be covered. I'll take a bit later after creation of PO. I'll tell you how to create contracts. Now we have with respect to PR and RFQ. So I have already created RFQs. I have already created PRs. Based on these two, I can create PO. Or without referring to RFQ or contract or even PR, I can directly create PO. You can write down this then. PO can be created based on purchase requisition. Based on purchase requisition, you can just write down them. Reference to contract, reference to RFQ. We'll see one or two today. Later I'll take up probably next session. See, reference to PR. Let us assume that I would like to create with reference to PR. I'll take some vendor. So again, these are the prerequisites. I have already told you this. See, purchase order, let the system create the PO number. So I am leaving it internally for the system to generate. This is common for all. Numbering will be defined as internal, external. So system will be generating for every document. It is common. The way we have already seen it, we have already maintained it for materials and vendors. So it is same for other documents as well. See, vendor we have order type. Order type NB is standard PO. NB means standard PO. So purchase order date, system will take, it has to take today's date. System will be automatically taking that. Purchase order number, I'll just allow system to generate. Then purchasing group, PPG. So item category, I have already told this while creating PR. If I leave it blank, it is a standard. This we have already seen. If I leave it blank, it is standard. So account assignment, I am not assigning any account. Delivery date in the form of date, T and D we have. See, day format. Week and month, W and M. So let it be D or T. Then I should provide plant storage location. These details are sufficient. Now let us assume that I need to create PO based on PR, based on purchase requisition. What I'll do is I'll provide the vendor and click on this reference to PR. Reference to PR. It'll ask me if you want to create it with reference to PR, what is the PR number that you would like to go about? So remember PR number?
Double 0 1 0 0 4 8 1 1 3 PR number.
Can you repeat?
00 100 48 1113.
1113. Yeah.
48113. 113.
This is correct.
Yes, sir. That's what I have written. Created.
All results fine. Yes, that's correct. 100 48 113. You can just ignore the
100.
zeros if it is before one, starting whatever zeros that you can ignore. Now, as you can see, purchase requisition, this number, based on that, it is automatically taking the material also, quantity also, delivery date, of course, release date, and plant. These details are automatically being filled up. I didn't enter material, I didn't enter quantity. So it is automatically taking that. And if at all we had created one more PR with respect to rather with reference to source determination as well, where you can find the vendor also. As you can see, a fixed vendor. We'll get to know to which vendor are we supposed to send that. Even that we can maintain. So storage location, I just enter that. PBSL. Yeah, storage location I enter. Now I'll select this. Based on this, I would like to create PO. Observe this, I have adopt plus details. So I'll just click on this, adopt. System takes. And what is the price? So the price what we quote for PO is fixed. Until then it is estimated. So once you quote it in PO, that means vendor and you as a purchasing organization, both are, so PO is a legal document, both are binding by that. That's the meaning. So I'll save it. So it is saying next realistic date is 29/4, and you have something different here. Are you okay? 20th/4 you have. It is asking that. I can say still overwrite, enter, save it. So standard PO created under number, make a note of this. This is how we create PO with reference to PR. Shall we connect or shall we stop for here today? Prajwal, Venkat and Nikhil.
I'm ready for both.
Huh?
I'm ready, sir. It's okay, I'm ready.
It's okay. Another 10 minutes?
Yeah, okay, done.
Okay, then we'll just reconnect. It's less than a minute.